Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome back to Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. I am your host and game master, Skadramas, otherwise known as Toneshift, as always. And with me today, we have our full cast of players. We have Hades Shadow 92 playing Thanatos, our male human Dark Knight.
You.
We have Luminous Starlight playing Rocket, our female cyborg chocobo warrior.
Hello.
We have Darkness playing Alicer, our male human paladin.
Hello there.
And last but not least, and not as of yet in the Roll20 room, we have Tom.
It's loading as we speak. Shut up.
We have Tom 117Z playing Neothil, our female Elvon Ranger. And just
I'm
as
in
a
now.
yep, there, so you are. And of course, just so no one forgets, I will be controlling the NPC party member Mika Solon, our female Mithra Red Mage and local bookish egghead bookworm nerd. Train of thought kind of got away from me a little bit. Anyway.
Beyonce to Neophil and her carer.
She's just cat nerd.
She's cat. Anyway, so where we last left off, our intrepid band of adventurers had journeyed to the summit of the Tower of Creation and faced Bahamut, the mightiest among the gods of Eno, in a test of strength to acquire his wind crystal of light. But no sooner had they proven their worth than Soraan Junleel, accompanied by the brainwashed and reanimated Tiamat, broke into the tower and confronted the party and Bahamut himself. An epic struggle ensued where, against all odds, the party managed to come out victorious over Tiamat. However, alas, that unexpected and impressive victory proved to be of little significance when compared to the raw power Soraan brought to the table, especially considering, as the Eidolon of Darkness, Diabolos' servant and partial incarnation, he had a much firmer grasp of control over the Tower of Creation than Bahamut ever could. In a desperate bid to prevent Soraan from reanimating Diabolos then and there and ending the world in one fell moment, he shattered the vast majority of his own wind crystal of light in spectacular fashion, releasing a wave of stasis energy and raw order that halted but did not stop the functions of the Tower of Creation, leaving it slowed and weakened and inoperable for presumably and hopefully a number of weeks, thus providing our cast sufficient time to lick their wounds and prepare for whatever comes next. Reconvening with Odin outside the Tower of Creation at the edge of the abyss, Bahamut flew off to reconvene with the others, while Odin whisked our party back to the nearby city of, I believe it's called Viala? I keep getting the name. I keep getting the name of the kingdom and the name of the city mixed up. But as matters stand, he whisked them away back to there. And so, with that in mind, we come in as Odin arrives outside of the city in a prismatic shoo of light, depositing you outside of the city, maybe about 30 minutes walk. Far enough away so as to not cause any undue alarm or unrest in the citizenry from the sudden spark of light, the pillar that had risen up from the ground. As the light fades from around you, and you have your return to a space you are familiar with back out in the natural world, the air is chilly around you. A gentle breeze washes by. It is around noon, and as you're looking up, you can see there's some cloud cover rolling in. And as you look towards the south, towards the Tower of Creation, though it is too far away to see it or even the mountain over which it floats, you can still see that the clouds in that direction have faintly begun to glow, in contrast to everything beyond it, reflecting the light of the bubble of stasis around the tower.
Question, is the Little Wing meant to be here?
I mean, it barely had time to leave. It's like You guys were gone for only a couple of hours. So, like, it's like...
Change. It
It's
feels like it's been weeks.
Right? It's like, it's right there. Like, you guys left in the morning. You were gone for a couple of hours, and time inside the tower is wonky. It is only the middle of the day right now. But in spite of that, you are all exhausted. Your wounds may not be all that bad, but you have nevertheless gone through the ringer, fought your way through all kinds of things, both physical and emotional, climbing through the tower, and that confrontation with Tiamat at the end, though you came out victorious, was still a very draining affair. So you're tired, you're sweaty, some of you are still kind of trying to catch your breath from the chaos of it all and how quickly everything happened. You're tense.
So many limit breaks.
Yeah. Kind of jittery, kind of nervous. Odin looks down at all of you.
I've come out of it feeling like my fate is something more physical now, right as I rattle my new dice.
Yeah. As you come out of it, Odin looks down to the rest of you. Take your time and get some rest. I will reconvene with the others and come find you just as soon as we're ready. Try not to exert yourselves. You'll need your strength for what is to come.
We'll spend the time resupplying and waiting for your word. No big adventures until the end comes.
All right. He takes a few steps back so that he's a little ways away and begins to make preparations to shunt himself off to who knows where. If any of you have anything else to say to him, now's the time. Nothing? Alright. And so, after a moment, another pillar of prismatic light shoots up out of the ground underneath him, burns in the air for a second before dissipating, and Odin has gone. Alright.
If the little wing is still here, we should reconvene with the others. If briefly.
I mean,
We should-
like, they have departed, but barely. You could ask them to turn around if you want.
Ow. I thought because the little wings icon was there that they were in the city. Never mind then. Scratch all of that.
Yeah, Again, it's only been a couple of hours. Like, on foot, that would probably be like a... I mean, again, the Little Wing can travel 4 times the distance you can.
Yeah, they're not here. It's fine.
Yeah, so, like, yeah.
So, anyway, that never happened.
Indeed.
While we're here, we should spend some time regathering our supplies. We used a lot of potions in there.
Yeah, I could be stuck.
And I kind of want to check on Kyra.
Yeah.
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 Of course, we haven't been gone all that long. Could they have made a lot of progress?
Not necessarily, but I just want to check in anyway.
We'll head there. On the way, we'll hit up the shops. In my bag, I have all the high potions still maxed out.
Mika only has the one high potion right now.
Yeah. I
Mayhaps
used half of
we-
all my potions, and I used 2 high ethers.
Is it mayhaps we do like shopping off the actual like session?
Yeah, I would normally agree, and I did consider that before session, but I'm concerned as if we're going to be off to the ultimate place. I kind of want to have potions.
Same, because... Oh my goodness, yeah. I definitely restock. I have used up 9 ethers, 5 regular potions, 7 high ethers, and 7 high potions gone.
I mean,
need
what we
restock.
could do, for brevity's sake, because we have freaking infinite money at this point anyway, is just just put down all the stuff we restock on, and then in post-session we'll work out how much it cost. Because we can definitely afford it with ease.
Indeed.
There's so much skill.
Alright, well, just keep track of how much stuff we have, and then we can do costs like later, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't
Well-
need anything. I didn't use anything.
So I'll be maxing out my potions, which is 5 normal potions and 2 high ethers. I'll make a note of that.
Kind of overestimating we have an infinity amount. Either that, we just came across the satchel.
You guys just have a lot of gil. You got like 140,000 when you bonked Tiamat. So
altogether,
to be perfectly honest, a lot of the respiratory stuff really doesn't cost a whole lot, especially with Alistair, who can turn a regular potion into a high potion. Those only cost like 20.
The rest of it we can use to buy the bar or something, so that Thanatos can get extra drunk.
Or any equipment that we need at the time. But I think we'll be solid on that.
We're about to get our ultimate gear.
By the way, God gear, so let's not.
By the way, I just happened to find a new weapon in my pocket with that crystal. Welcome, Sky Shot. It's a tier 6 weapon, triple crit in terms of property, so it doesn't have Fiend Killer, but I can swap out Attila Bolt Storm.
Yeah, I forgot. For explanation, I forgot at the end of last session to give Nii her new weapon that just came with defeating Tiamat, because I also forgot to get her a Fiend weapon, because shit was always so crazy with the last Fiend and whatnot, so what I wound up doing is, in the off session, when I remembered that was a thing, I simply suggested that Nii just finds this new crossbow along with the crystal in her pouch. So,
because otherwise I wasn't going to get that weapon.
Yeah, I still just don't see the point if we're going to be getting tier 8 gear soon anyway.
Well, we got a dungeon to go through, and this thing does an extra 2 damage steps. So
it's just to fix the oopsie doopsie.
Right. So as an aside, I will go ahead and I am currently keeping track of how much Mika is currently buying, and I'll just add anything to the list on that front.
Okay. So we're just doing shopping now, then?
Well, we're just filling out the stuff we want in our sheets, and then just remember what you bought. We'll sort out price after session.
Yeah, I have my list.
Okay.
Yeah, Mika's gonna bundle up on like 10 high ethers and 10 X potions.
So yeah, you guys just max out all your shit in your sheets. Make a note of how much stuff you bought, and then we'll add it all up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket, what's your potion situation like?
Ten high potions.
Sorry, go.
10 high potions, Firestone, 4 no blaze stones, 5 Phoenix Downs, 5 Geishel Greens.
You've had those since like session 5. You have they've like just rotten in your saddlebags. You can go ahead and remove those if you want. We can just say like you ate them while Rocket was away.
Bill, sounds like pretty well up. Alright. So, if we've done a shopping and so we've maxed out on everything.
Yeah.
How we want. Off to Kyra?
Quite.
Right. So you all spend a couple hours doing your shopping and work out all of the specifics of that in the off session. But after that, you start to make your way towards the castle in the heart of Viala, near the uppermost of those big districts. It's odd as you're moving through the city and looking around. You can see that there are, of course, plenty of people around, and they're just going about their days, and it's jarring knowing what you know, that the potentially literal apocalypse is looming right around the corner. Any day it could start, but these people just look so carefree. They don't seem to really be aware that shit's about to get bad. There's not even an unsettling air over them at all.
We should also have a chat with the king while we're here.
We need to talk to everyone on the network and get them up to speed on what's happening and what's going on.
That's what the Little Wing's going to do. All those aboard her.
And of course, I'm writing in the book to let know what's happening.
That's what the...
You have, of course, your connection. Yeah. Because Mika also has that connection to Anomo with her book.
Mm-hmm.
So we can fill them in here. Mika can tell Anomo can spread word. The Little Wing is already going to spread word.
Well, hopefully the network should provide for easy communication and coordination between the nations.
I just hope they can gather some sort of helping force in time while we're off getting these weapons.
Also, tonight you can go and talk to your mommy in your dreams and tell her what's going on.
I can and will, and I'm going to shove you off a bridge first.
Alright. Either way.
So here's a question.
Yes?
With her talking to Panara, is it like trying to go to your mommy looking for head pets?
Okay, listen, Thanatos, I've had a really shitty day with dragons and world ending, so you are walking on thin ice.
You could go and tell Panara that you got an
Mika casts sleep on Thanatos.
Thank you.
So make an opposed finesse check.
Can I use force?
No, because it's magic based.
You should have seen it coming. Like
Need to beat
me
a
said,
16.
you're running off.
And apparently I was strong because it's a really high roll.
They never see you coming.
I shall get a critical success.
Last surprise.
Don't jinx it, Thanatos.
I shall.
You jinxed it. You done it.
Yep, you fucked it. Okay, Thanatos falls asleep. Exactly. So,
There is holographic communication between the nations, isn't there?
there's not. No, this isn't Star Trek.
There's magic message sending and things like that, so there are ways. But if they the book communication for one, there was those magic communicators, but we don't have those here. Emblem has those. Oh, let's wake him up for goodness sake.
I appreciate the silence if it wasn't for his snoring.
I'm gonna kick him in the gonads.
I could have used. Okay, go ahead.
Wait. So isn't he actually?
Not a full pelt, but enough to get your attention.
All right. So, Hades, your neglected family jewels suffer a bit of abuse, and you are jarred awake.
Did you just?
Hey, at least I wasn't the one doing it this time.
There would be
Well-
the return of the Nutcracker.
Well, it's something for you to think about while I go talk to Mummy, yes?
Rise and shine, edgy baby. We got things to do.
Shut up.
And that, my friends, is karma.
Anyway.
It also helps when you have the living weapon that is Mika as your fiancé. Love you.
Okay. All right. So, after that little bit of chaos, before long, the castle at the topmost districts of Yala comes into view. It's same humble design. Stark contrast to the Tower of Creation as you step in. At this point, you've come and gone enough times, and the guards have been informed of your group after that whole ordeal with the lightning crystal, and more recently, the issues with, the Tower of Creation and everything else. You're let right in. And as you step into the front sort of a lobby, you can see there are a couple other guards scattered around the space, and one of them in particular walks towards you.
Before we engage them, Thanatos, if you want to go find Kara, we can deal with this and join you there.
Will do.
All right.
I know you'd rather be at her side than dealing with politics.
Aw, she knows me so well. Still not forgiving you.
You deserved it. Good thing I do know you so well. Lover boy, go on.
Yeah.
Right, so the guard approaches as Thanatos is turning to walk off. We weren't expecting you for a while yet. What has happened?
It was slightly longer for us. Time gets weird in the Tower of Creation. Um, but we should really be speaking with your king urgently.
Alright, wait here. And he turns and quickly heads through the doors for a moment, heading towards the throne room, and a couple moments later, he comes back. Theodore will see you immediately. He said to usher you in with haste. Go on.
Thank you.
All right.
Yep.
So you make your way into the throne room, and you can see Theodore he's already risen from his throne as you're entering, and you can of course see the various other guards scattered around. Theodore looks up as you're approaching. You're back.
We're back. A lot earlier than we thought. Inside the Tower of Creation, time gets weird.
I wouldn't pretend to understand such things myself. Such things are outside of my purview, but what has happened?
Well, she kind of holds out the wind crystal. Succeeded as far as the crystal goes. That's all of them.
That is a relief.
But
There it is.
Bahamut's no longer in control of the tower.
What?
As we were retrieving the crystal, Soraan made his grand debut on Dragonback. Though we defeated Tiamat once again, Diablos' power inside the Tower of Creation was far superior to that of Bahamut's. We were roughly ejected, though not before Bahamut essentially scattered the tower and its chaos magics. Currently, it's useless to them, but it's not going to stay that way. In a few weeks, the tower will repair itself, and when it does, if it does, that's it. Diablos wins. He'll have control of the primordial energy of the planet and can reshape it with the snap of his fingers.
Theodore is clearly rattled by this new information. Well, what do we do then? I'm used to dealing with petty politics. This is
beyond anything we could have imagined 1 year ago, yeah. Well, I'm still almost playing with the crystal on my fingers. I think without this, it's going to be weeks at least before the tower can be reforged. That gives us time. Bahamut.
Just as a reminder, the tower wasn't damaged or broken. Its functions were simply stalled. The structure is still there, still floating. It just can't do its thing at the moment.
Well, the way I said it, like Scat is chaos magic's like you can't do anything with it, so
yeah,
same thing.
Yeah, the outcome is the same, but just the finer minutia of it.
So before we went to the tower, we'd already sent the others off to try and coordinate with people around, allies we've made, call them some favors. Bahamut has already pointed us towards, well, somewhere, we're not sure where yet, but where they've stashed weapons of some kind. This is going to come down to a fight. Us or him at the Tower of Creation.
Very well then.
We were hoping that you and the other allied nations can start to gather some forces. Currently, the Tower of Creation is there, and as far as we know, it should stay there. But if its function to move itself does,
I would
get
advise.
Go.
I would advise trying to find some way to keep everyone alive during that time.
Coordinated so that if the tower does relocate in that unlikely event, that there could be tracks and forces could be rerouted.
Very well.
Hopefully we can get some sort of plan and force together before that function is reinitialized, but time's not on our side here.
Understood. Now, I have forgotten the name of the paladin lady he kept with him who served as his bodyguard, because it's been a hot minute since she was at all relevant. But she has been standing quietly off to one side, listening in. All right, and Theodore will turn to her. I want you to return the arbiters from the Ixion's spine. Bring them back, send a contingent of them to Kurzatan, pick up whatever forces we have there, and move them into the peaks of Mount Uzor to keep watch on the floating castle. If anything happens there, I want to be notified immediately. Understood? She throws a sharp salute.
Yes, sir.
Also, I want you to take word to our white mage. We need to have word sent to the other nations immediately, and as I understand it, he has a spell that can communicate at range.
I'll get right on it.
I should be able to inform Vitae pretty much after this. I have a link with someone there. Anyone you can communicate with, tell them to send absolutely everything they can until this crisis is solved. Nothing else matters. Because if we don't succeed, there is nothing else. Just him.
All right. Under normal circumstances, such claims would be cause for me to be skeptical, but you carry the crystals. At this point, I don't have room to be skeptical.
If you want more word than that, at some point, Odin's going to be showing up back in the city, so you could ask him.
Right. He then turns to another one of the guards in the room. I want our chief engineer in the war room as soon as possible. We need to start discussing possible defenses, aerial defenses, get our airships ready to deploy at a moment's notice. The soldier throws a salute and goes running off. Then he turns back to the rest of you. In the meantime...
As desperate as it is, some care should also be taken, at least to try not to draw too much attention until the time is right, because, well...
Rest assured, I'll be taking precautions not to panic my people.
Good.
Furthermore, there may be a need to actually use Phoenix's power if we manage to bring her back.
If we can get close
I'm
enough
going
to
to do
Diablos.
everything I can to make that happen.
Do you have any inkling when we get to him how that's going to happen?
Rocket, go ahead and make a lore divinity check.
Okay.
I don't know why you bothered saying what type of lore, because none of us have lore other than Mika.
Mika cannot roll this type of lore. This is something that cannot be studied in a book. It requires first-hand experience that among your number only Rocket has.
She is part god right now.
Well, she's been in close contact with several of them for much longer than you guys. So.
I should have put my points into Lord of
Well, you can always add extra d6s. You're swimming in destiny points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we beat Tiamat and you are a warrior, so you got extra.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could probably. I was saving them for when I brought her back.
Yeah, I'm not saying use all, but knowing how we're going to do that will definitely be helpful.
Well, I have a plan for it.
It would be helpful to inform me what that is in private at some point, just so I can work with it.
Well, it has to do with all the feathers and...
That's why you've been gathered.
The divinity will still help with that plan, because if you have more information from that...
Okay, well, let me look at my character sheet, and I hear somebody coming down the stairs, so I have to mute real quick.
Okay.
Hey.
They're wanting to go out to eat.
Oof.
Okay.
What's your take?
What do
I do? I mean, ultimately, it's a do they want you to go with them?
Yeah, I want to go with them.
Hmm.
And We shouldn't have any combat this session.
No. Do we want to at least get through the next, say, 10 minutes or so you can have this conversation and go about Phoenix and stuff?
I have to get ready too.
Yeah.
But
It's your call. If you want to go for it. We won't stop you. I can fill you in on the specific.
How many destiny do you have to add a dice?
It's one destiny point per d6.
Okay.
So if you want to add like 3d6, it would be 3 points of destiny.
And you can keep adding them after the initial roll as well.
All right.
Okay. All right.
3.
Shit.
So I added 3 to that. So
Yeah, I see.
Destiny points. 22. That's a good number.
That would do it.
That is a pretty good roll. Okay, so what you can kind of piece together in your head based on all of this rocket, it's still kind of shaky grounds, even with the first-hand experience with the divines you've had at this point. But what you can kind of surmise in your head as a possible method is that you've noticed over time that every time Phoenix's power of resurrection has been used anywhere in proximity to you by Diabolos's minions, the feathers in your possession have reacted in some way. Every time Zaltea has perked her salty little head up, the feathers reacted. When Tiamat was awoken, even considering the great distance, the feathers reacted. You're assuming that perhaps at a critical moment, when Diablos is forming, it might be possible to do something then. However, the exact specifics of how that would work are presently unknown to you, given you're not sure where it would happen, how it would happen, what form Diablos would take, how he would manifest, what medium he would choose to conjure himself through. Too many variables to know for certain, but you know the key is in the feathers, and when they respond is the moment you hope that they could do something.
So when Diabolos is forming and the feathers respond, you need to use them then in some manner.
yeah, then it'll be the critical time to reach out to Phoenix.
You need to use them on the forming mass.
Power of the feathers.
Yeah.
And destiny.
Yeah, and all the destiny points you can possibly muster in that roll. Yeah.
So I'm going to probably need to gather a shit ton of destiny.
Well, we have a shit ton of destiny. I think
You are destined for greatness, Rocket.
I'm sure we'll get a few in the next dungeon. So we'll consider a matter of importance that you save yours, since you're going to be the linchpin for this.
And with Phoenix's power, whatever damage was done, hopefully can be undone.
Yeah.
All right.
This is going to be the most important role in this campaign because, I mean, never mind Phoenix getting back. If we don't extract Phoenix from him, we can't kill him. Not completely,
He's
anyway.
going to keep coming back over and over again.
We'll just delay.
Now I probably need to go get ready to go out to eat.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
dokies.
all right,
Have
so-
fun.
Yep.
Sorry I had to leave so early.
It's
no,
it's
no, no,
it's
no,
okay.
no, no.
We had no way of knowing. You go enjoy time with your family. We'll get you caught up when you get back.
Okie dokie, bye.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
All right.
Hey.
So Rocket conveys all of that to you. Everything I just said, that her working theory is rooted on the moment Diablos uses that power to remanifest himself.
Crucial moment. Right now, he doesn't have a form. Well, except for that through Soraan. If there's any place he's going to manifest through, it's going to be him, but Soraan's still a complicated bag of enigmatic.
Theoretically, Diablos could reform anywhere.
And this is Mika.
His ashes are sown all throughout the world. Anywhere there's amber, he could theoretically appear whenever he was
But
ready.
Right now, there's only one place he wants to be, and that's the tower.
So we have to be there when he pops his head back in.
If we arrive before his manifestation to put the wrench in his plans, and Soraan can't stop us, we thought whatever it is Soraan personally plans, he'll manifest. He'll come. He won't let us take the tower back without a fight. And at that point, Rocket needs to do what she's all but destined to do. And then, with hopefully the aid of whoever has come with us, kind of nods towards the king, we, and that of the gods themselves, put an end to him properly and finally.
I'll be sure word of this plan is sent wherever we can reach it.
And we have the crystals, so we have that on our side, and these weapons. There, Bahamut said something about their properties being able to particularly harm the divine. That's why they're hidden.
Well,
Alright. If there's nothing else, I should probably get a move on. There's a lot that needs to be done, and not a lot of time to do it.
I know. We're going to be here until we're collected to go get these weapons. Until then, we're going to check in on our comrade. Kyra.
Alright. Take care. And keep me posted.
Will do. Likewise. Your Majesty.
Then he turns and makes his way out at a brisk pace. After the paladin lady whose name I still don't remember.
If that's enough shitting up countries for one day.
Alright, let's go ahead and shift gears over to Hades.
Yes, even though there was a lot of talking in there, even if I wasn't there. Oh, well.
Alright, so Hades, you kind of splintered off from the party as they were being collected by that guard. You kind of have to ask around for a bit to actually know where to go, because when you first brought Kyra in, she was carted off while you went to do other things, trusting in the white mages to take care of her. But it doesn't take long. You ask like one or two guards, and before long you're stepping into the confines of the infirmary of the Vialan Castle. There don't appear to be very many people in here at the moment. It's pretty quiet. Most of the things are shuttered off for, you would assume, privacy if there were patients in them, but a lot of them still stand open. A sort of a high, half-dome, sort of semicircle ceiling. Plenty of windows to allow in natural light, chandeliers hanging from above. It's very welcoming and spacious. And as you're sort of looking around, off to the left, sort of middle of the room on that side, you see a bed that is occupied, and you see the familiar form of Kyra lying down in it. Eyes currently closed.
He approaches the bed.
Right. As you're approaching, you can see that there is a white mage. You would assume human male, sort of sitting in a chair by the bedside. One hand out, a steady stream of blue magic flying from his fingertips and washing over Kyra's form. And said white mage looks up as you're approaching. Can I help you?
How is she?
You know her then?
Very well.
She'll make a recovery, of that I am confident. The damage to her spine, while crippling, was not permanent. Appropriate applications of magic should set her to rights within a couple of weeks.
That's good.
She's flitted in and out of consciousness periodically, but given the discomfort she's still in, she's being kept under magical sedation for the time being. Might I ask your name?
Thanatos.
Ah. She mentioned you once, during one of her fleeting moments of waking up.
Really?
Yeah. She asked where you were. There was this almost joking edge to her voice. I get the
that
impression.
sounds like her.
I got the impression she had some witty remark right on the tip of her tongue, but was in too much pain to really formulate it. My name is Denta Lieven. Might I ask how she acquired this injury? Details were sparse when she was brought in, and it was all very rushed.
We were in the canyons of Athmor, Athakore?
Athakore or Athakor. Either pronunciation is correct.
The canyons of Athakor by the Hellfire Pit, on our way to see Ifrit.
Huh. So you're the ones, then.
And when we landed, the great sandworm surprised us, grabbed her, and you see the result.
That I do. She's going to have a nasty scar in her lower back when all is said and done.
She's a dragoon, so I hope she can still jump again after this.
As I said, she'll make a recovery. Though I foresee the possibility of potential complications later on in the future. In a few weeks she'll be back on her feet and more or less as she was, but it's possible that in coming years, it's possible the damage she suffered at this time might start to catch up with her. Nevertheless, she is a strong one. I've had patients who suffered similar injuries who passed before they could even reach my care. And I'm given to understand she was like this for days before she arrived.
We didn't really have much choice.
We rarely do. Take heart. She'll recover. He then withdraws his hand and the flow of blue light stops. For the moment, there's naught else I can do. I'll leave you to your privacy. He stands up and goes to give you your space.
He kind of just sits down in the chair and just watches her for a bit.
All right. And after a little while, the door opens and the rest of the party comes walking in.
Hey
How is
guys,
she?
how was politics?
Well, I think we've officially scared them.
Oh, and I missed it.
Rocket.
Scaring people is my stick.
And so is that of the God of Darkness. Rocket revealed more of her general plan to tear Phoenix from him.
I'm sure that'll be cool.
It's gonna require waiting for a crucial moment, namely when Diablos is first forming. We're gonna have a brief window to split them apart. If we miss it,
So, what you're saying is we have to be very lucky.
Pretty
I just-
much. In a
just
way.
time it very well.
And when are we ever lucky?
Not with these dice, no. 4 and a 1.
So, how is she?
The mage said she'll be on her feet again in a few weeks. But
That's good to hear, at least. You have something to come back to once we save the world.
he said it'll be a full recovery. but said that she'll probably have problems in the future.
Oh.
Well, I'm sure she'll at least like the scar.
Yeah, she probably would brag about that.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to explore all her bareback has to offer, Thanatos.
Mika kind of gives you a sideways glance like,
Is now the time for that?
Cheering him up, always.
crap.
What?
What is the crapping?
The calendar isn't loading.
No, I
No.
saw that as well.
Crashed for you too?
Yep.
Crap.
Shoot.
Well, hopefully we won't need it.
It's like, it is
Hopefully-
down. It is down.
Well, the way I see it, by the end of this, we're all gonna have scars. There's probably we're gonna tell stories about.
Oh, I've got plenty.
We all do, really.
Although
Been
most
through
of them
enough.
were from Kaya, so does that mean more scarring myself? Or
I've got one on my front and on my back. Cause remember, got the mail all the way through.
You have physical and mental scars, Thanatos. Best not to overthink it.
Yeah, I'd rather not consider the possibility that your scars are self-harm. I've got enough to deal with.
we're really gonna do it? Fighting a god and not like the
Well,
just like for
first
real.
we
this
can-
time.
We
First,
made it this far, did we not? So why not? We can't just sit around and do nothing.
first we find the god-killing swords of mega awesomeness. Then we go and kill Soraan. Then his on and off boss.
Oh shit, I hope it's not a sword. I never used a sword. I mostly used my staff.
Momentarily out of character, I remember like way back in the earliest sessions when you guys first went to that blacksmith in Marasu. Like we just got to this part with my mother and I listening through it the other day. You contemplated getting a sword when you got your first shield.
Yeah.
But you stayed with the poke
On the
instead.
one hand, I could go slashy. But on the other hand, I'd be more of a pro casting spells with a staff.
That is true.
Yeah.
So I
You
pretty
are
much went
our
the staff route.
I used the sword for.
You used Vermilion's Edge. You used a
Okay.
rapier for a while
I did.
until you got your
So I
job
got the
weapon,
dark
actually.
sand.
Yeah.
Even if I do want to go sword, I think I would need more than a week to train.
Probably.
You still have Vermilion's Edge, don't you?
I think I still do. I need to check my inventory. I do, yes.
Yeah. Funny
got
thing
it.
about that, in the initial encounter when Murasan revealed himself to be Soraan, I was
You
going to
mentioned
have
you could take
him
it
just
back,
steal
yeah.
it back, and I just forgot.
Yeah, and now he's crafted a new one.
Yeah. And he's
But
an idol unto
that's-
darkness. He can just bend the laws of creation to make shit. He's like an ancient Amaratine. Anyways.
Keep
Step
that handy.
back. He stole my thing.
She kind of nods at the rapier as he's showing off. Keep that handy. If you're feeling a bit poetic later on.
It's not going to be much use to us at this point.
Well, for a final blow, you never know.
Could also use it to mark his grave.
I was going to use his skull for that, but
Usually that's
a
in
big
the
grin.
grave. If there's anything left of him afterwards, who knows what happens when you kill a incinerated man turned eidolon.
I pretty much think there'd be nothing left.
You can hope.
there's
I mean,
something.
destroyed the body, but then there's his mental side, I guess.
He's honestly facing him fills me with more dread than facing Diablos. Diablos, we sort of know what we're in for. I mean, he's the big driving force of everything, but just Soraan is just still unknowns about him. What he's trying to achieve, what he wants of us.
All those.
Yes. He's pretty cryptic.
Like
that.
everything he wants revolves around us, and has been since the day we killed him.
But that's just
And
the
yet he
thing.
applauds our progress. Well,
just-
unless we piss him off.
That's just the thing that's bothering me. Back in Deviacorp, he could have obliterated us,
But he spared us.
but he spared us.
He
By his
said
own
he
admission.
needed us.
And then when he had us kill Hades,
Thing is, had he just killed us that day, he would have shattered these crystals, no problem. He could have dealt with Hades with Elizabeth as the Chain Angel.
they would
He
still have an
would have-
Amber Dragon on their side.
He would have set that Amber Dragon off towards Vitae with his manipulation anyway. Vitae would be smoldering ruin, or but unless well, my sisters were there, so it probably would have been fine. But so
Like a
much
huff.
more,
Mm.
so much more would have gone in Diabolos's favor had he killed us, and he still would have reached this point, but stronger for it. So why does he need us?
It's almost like a horrifying theory I've been having. What if he wants us to defeat him? But then what does he gain from it with, the god of all darkness is gone? Does he want to try to take his place, or what?
Honestly,
I don't
it's
know.
been plain. It's been plain for a while. He's been wanting us to weaken Diablos. Like he set us against Hades. He set us against the Amber Dragon, knowing we probably slay them. He's been strategically having us weaken Diablos' efforts, but
There's
not his
another
own.
thing that's bothering me. All the fiends we defeated, each time we defeated them, they gave us a weapon.
Well, except for mine, which Barmer gave me.
Just.
But then again,
besides that, just like
I got the feeling Soraan doesn't like me in particular. For one, breaking his nose and dobbing him into Diablos. He seems to really hate me.
that
Yeah.
doesn't- What
But
it's
besides
like
that-
he's. It's more like he was trying to make us stronger. Putting us against Hades, putting us against the Amber Dragon, putting us against the fiends. Like, what were the fiends for? He could have easily gone and destroyed the crystals himself.
I
Thing
thought it
is-
would be so he could do it faster, divide and conquer.
But he can
Yeah, like
teleport.
he still, at least on Diablos' behest, he still very much tried and succeeded in one case destroying the crystals. Thing is, he's up there in the tower now. When the crystal of light unleashed its light and scattered the tower's power and left it inoperable for a while, he very much reacted with disappointment and dismay at this. If he gains control of the tower and he can somehow hold Diablos at bay, what would he do with it?
Wait a minute.
Well, whatever it is, it's just as confusing as is what he calls a game of chess. I don't know how many he's played in his lifetime, but this is the weirdest game of chess I've ever got involved with.
Well,
Okay,
whatever.
Guys, wait a minute.
Hmm?
Do you remember way back in Marasu when we asked why he was working with Diablos?
He wanted a purpose, and Diablos gave him that purpose, and he got angry when we decried him for it.
What if it goes beyond that? Because it's clear that he's somewhat working against Diablos if we're taking out his strongest minions.
Before he came into
and-
Diablos' employ, we know he was an adventurer, and he was in Morasso a bit washed up. He's had hit hard times, and then Diablos offered him purpose, power, all of it.
Yeah, after he survived the plague infecting him.
Yeah,
Hmm.
an offer
So, is he trying to gain a new purpose from this, or just getting back in a weird way?
he was very much
Hmm.
on the full Diablos train when we first met him, but since the resurrection, not so much. So maybe it's something to do with how he landed in the destitute place to begin with. Maybe it's something else.
Something
maybe
we
he just
don't know about
It's,
him.
it's just he's been strategically having us weaken Diabolos as we've been going. He's been likewise very much trying to destroy the crystals, weaken the other gods. And now he's in the position where he could feasibly take the Tower of Creation, so long as we're the ones to prevent his boss from doing so. Whatever he does with it, though, it's not going to be for the good of mankind, I know that much.
Exactly. Even if there's some messed up thought in his mind to think that we're going to help him accomplish what he wants, He is not going to escape his judgment when that time comes.
It is quite plain that Master and Servant have different designs on that tower. We can't
Back
let
in
either have
Nomo,
it.
he kept saying that he wasn't our enemy.
He might not view himself as much, but
The words I recall him saying is, I
we
think
would fail without him.
he's our enemy, but we're not his. Is what he said, I think.
And that
What-
and
what
that
is-
if we
what is
and
that
that
even
if he
supposed
was
to mean?
slain, he also said that if he was slain in a Nomo, we'd fail. I think again because he wants to see Diablos defeated because his designs differ. And that's the part we play where his pawns defeating his own power donor.
Whatever the case might be,
Need
neither
you
of them
remember-
will not get hold of that tower, nor access its full power. It should return to its rightful owner once it's all
The
ended.
thing is,
And this is Mika piping up.
if Soraan wants us to kill Diablos, that would sabotage him too if he has other designs that rely on Diablos' power. Killing Diablos would mean the end of his Eidolons. Soraan would be left powerless. He might even just
Yes.
die all over again if we kill Diablos before we kill him.
Or maybe
That's
he
true.
has.
He can't exist without him.
And if not
unless
to
he's going to try
destroy,
to cheat death again.
But
if
here's
not to
the
destroy
thing.
Diablos outright, maybe either co-opt his power entirely, send us godhood sort of deal.
What if that's it? What if he wants us to defeat Diablos and take his power for himself?
No one could handle so much power like that.
Alternatively,
Surely not.
maybe he's not banking on us fishing out Phoenix and is expecting us to slay Diablos and him just return to Ash. I mean, dormant
Oh,
for however
no.
long.
And then he'll be in the Tower of Creation with Diablos' power, able to mold the world
without-
into whatever he wants.
With Diablos defeated, dormant, and unable to do anything.
Oh shit.
It's all still just speculation, but ultimately he's the only man who can tell us why.
And he's
But
not
no
right
matter
to
the
tell us
reason,
that.
we can't
that
let
is-
him do it. Before we kill
Except-
Diablo, Soraan needs to die.
Indeed.
Oh, he's certainly gonna die.
But that's a
Can't-
horrifying
I wouldn't
thought.
settle for anything less after what he's done.
And
But
given
we're gonna use his head as a bowling ball.
well, if we destroy Diablos first, I kind of have a feel we'd fight Diablos first. I kind of feel we'd only be helping him, so he needs to be target number one. While he's in play, there's too many unknowns. He
Although
needs
here's
to
the
You all-
go.
question.
You
Here's
all
the
put the.
question. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Go ahead, Artis.
Well, all I was going to say is that's a horrifying thought you all just put in my head. What if he somehow gets a hold of Phoenix's power?
So long as
Well,
he's
none of these.
so long as he's an Eidolon of Diablos, he has access to Phoenix's power. Diablos
Yeah,
devoured her, so he has access to all of her abilities, so long
He's
as their souls remain
demonstrated that with-
entwined.
Tiamat and Lazarus.
Uh,
He bragged about it.
So it's clear it's not Phoenix he's after, it's Diablos itself.
It's pretty obvious that he wants the tower. We just don't know to what end still.
And he wanted a
Yeah.
purpose, and what better purpose is to make it your own and make the world whatever you want it to be.
We'll hear it from the horse's mouth, I'm sure, in some epic monologue when he thinks he's won. Will we pull the carpet from under him?
Although here's another question. When
and then
Diablos
proceed to smother him with it.
when Diablos manifests, is he going to manifest through Soraan himself, or just
Or
through
from
another
the
body
darkness of the
entirely?
tower, potentially. Diabolos will show himself when he thinks there's no other way to stop us. Because once he's shown himself, he's vulnerable.
Yes, that
He
is
hasn't-
true.
He hasn't appeared in our dreams in quite a while. Is
Not
there
like
just
we
no
can
point in
judge
that anymore? Or
Who knows?
does that mean he can't?
Hmm.
Well, because the speculation is...
I think what it boils down to with the nightmares is he was trying to demoralize us, and if anything, the nightmares drove us to fight harder. He probably abandoned the tactic after what happened on Ramu's mountain.
Hey, he inadvertently played therapist and helped me sort of get over my arachnophobia. So...
It's clear he doesn't always know what Soraan is up to. Hence why me said he didn't know about Hades or the Amber Dragon incident.
Yeah. Mika,
Hmm?
on that subject, I think we need to talk about something.
What?
Kind of looks at the others and Kyra. This might not be the most appropriate place for a heart-to-heart. You guys keep Kyra company. Will we go do this?
Sure.
Well,
Thanks.
All right. So, you walk a ways away with Mika, and before we get to that, I need to be right back because I need to pee.
Seems like a perfect segue into that conversation.
Indeed.
we need to go. We need to go have a hard talk. Oh, hold on a second. I need to go pee.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
So yeah, we've long been speculating, obviously, to what ends he's been pitting us against him. Now that he's in position of the tower is clearly an objective.
True, but as powerful as Soraan is, I bet his power still ain't nothing till we get to the final boss.
Yeah,
That was
I reckon
himself.
what his general plan is. I think it's going to be one of two things. Either he wants to claim Diablo's power for himself, get control of the tower, not to destroy the world, but to almost remake it in his image, like enslave it.
Which I would hate to think what else he has
So-
going on in his mind to make that world happen.
So like, his purpose would be the god the world deserves, etc. Nothing can put him down again. Either that, or something happened to him in his past that put him in the position where we initially found him, and he intends to use the tower to change things.
Which the world has no need for a false god.
Yeah.
So we shall smite down the heretic when the time arrives.
In your usual wordy manner, yes.
I'm back.
Alright, let's go have this awkward conversation.
Yeah, this discussion that you've been putting off for a while.
Yeah,
My
seems like
lips are now sealed to listen to this.
All right,
talking
so
about the division between them. So we find a good spot.
yeah, you head a little ways off and you find a little isolated spot.
So what's
Oh.
up? What's up?
We were just talking about Soraan and how obviously we saw the division of him and the problems between him and Diablos.
Mm-hmm.
Talking with the archmages and Soraan himself, some of his words. Do you remember when I had that encounter with Diablos in my dreams, the one I mentioned with the spiders,
Yeah, I remember.
and I tried to pit Diablos and Soraan against each other?
Where's this going?
It was right after this that Diablos tortured Soraan and bid him go after the crystals. And Soraan chose that one.
There's a sort of distant look coming over Mika's face as you say this.
They were always going to go after them, but I think I might have sped it up without meaning to, and then he went after Marasu to get back at me, and... Sorry.
She doesn't say anything for the moment, just closes her eyes and looks down, visibly shaking.
Need to say anything, there's just tears streaming down her face.
Gonna roll something.
Hate it when you roll something.
So you see Mika's hands sort of ball up into fists for a moment, sort of shoulders hunching, tension getting worse, but then after a moment she lets out this long, full-bodied sigh. And without a word, she just turns and walks out.
Nee doesn't follow. Instead, she just kind of plants her back against the wall and slinks to the ground.
And is this within visual range of the others?
No, we went off to the secluded spot.
Right, so like out in the hall?
Or just like a corner somewhere out of the way.
Right. So yeah.
Yeah. She isn't moving. She's staying there.
Alright. So for the rest of you, a few minutes pass and Nee and Mika don't come back.
They've been gone a while.
Rocket kind of looks off after them.
Think we should check on them?
You two stay here, watch Kyra. I got this.
Right, so you go after where you saw Nee and Mika go a little while ago, sort of step out and into the hall beyond, and a little ways ahead you can see Nee sort of sitting against the wall. No sign of Mika, though.
Just kind of walks up and sits next to her against the wall. Hey.
No response.
I didn't hear that.
No response.
Didn't go well, I guess. I'm guessing still no response.
Mm-hmm. If I'm being silent, she isn't responding.
Okay. He puts an arm around her shoulder and just pulls her in.
My fault.
It's not your fault.
I thought I was being clever. Let's pit them against each other. Different end goals. And it killed them.
You didn't kill anybody.
He did. Don't you see? It was sped up. They weren't meant to go off the crystal that soon, but because Diablo didn't trust him anymore, because of me, he sent him first to go after them, to speed up the plan, and he chose Marasu because he knew it hurt us most.
The Diablos would have found out eventually. And whether he did to get us or not, that's not on you.
Old comfort from a very cold grave. She balls her hands into a fist, and you see like a light bit of almost angry, self-loathing amber sparks, but nothing more tangible than that. Like, just from emotion alone, she's almost resisting entering Blackstorm.
He puts his hand over it. No one here knows bad decisions like me. But you can't dwell on it.
You can see her face. She has every right to blame me.
She doesn't hate you, Nee.
I hope not. I don't know what she'd do if she did. But she has every right to.
You've had plenty of chances to hate me. What I did to Saurus back in Cursitan. When I said I didn't care what happened to the people.
Every time I try to hate you, you have to do something stupid that's endearing.
I like to think it's part of my charm.
Fuck. I need some air.
You go do that.
If you see me, go tell it. Forget it. Just walks off. Looking for the highest spot she can in the city and gonna sit up there.
Alright.
And now I guess Thanatos asks around and see where Mika went off to.
Alright, for Thanatos, go ahead and make an inquiry check for me, please.
Okay, inquiry. What do I have in inquiry? I don't think I have anything. I have none! I might just put some destiny into this.
Wow!
I don't know. Let's just see how the dice like this. Yeah, I'm gonna put another 2 in there. Fuck it. Better.
Alright. 6 and a 9. That's a total of 15. Alright. That is just high enough.
You see? It all works out.
Yeah, because, as a thing, Mika just straight up rolled a stealth check in secret to not be found. And she rolled a 15.
I was very tempted to do the same, but I decided that me was in no mind to even try to hide. Yeah.
Alright, so, Hades, Thanatos, you ask around for a couple of minutes, asking like, hey, did you see a black-haired myth woman go running by, white outfit, probably looked very upset, to a few people here and there, and it takes you a bit, but eventually you're given directions that she was seen sort of storming out of the castle a little while ago and wasn't stopping for anyone. A couple of guards tried to ask if she was alright, and she just shouldered past them. They elected not to give chase, but by their account, she was heading lower into the city, towards like the more center districts.
And do I find her?
Sort of continuing the trail of questions for a while, you eventually start to sort of piece it together in your head that there are only a small handful of places she probably went. Somewhere familiar and comforting, perhaps. And the first place that you can think of is the inn where you guys routinely stay whenever you're in this city. Either that or she would have gone to the Little Wing were it in port.
So, looking around the inn, or asking around.
Yeah, so, after a while, let me see here. Just making sure I'm remembering. Alright, so. Eventually you come down to the, what is referred to as the Mist District, which as I recall is where the inn was located.
Mm-hmm.
The spinning sprite, it's called. Because I have that information now. And you eventually make your way inside, and given the relatively early hour, there are only a couple of people inside. It's kind of quiet, and as you're looking around, you can see that Mika is indeed inside, and she's like tucked herself away in a back corner to just be away from everyone, and is just sitting at a table, hands folded on the table, looking down, being quiet.
And he walks over and stands by the table.
All right, give me a second, because people are pinging me on Facebook, and I need to silence them.
Silence!
Do not disturb. There we go. All right, so you come up to the table, and as you approach, Mika glances up at you.
Thanatos.
Kind of grabs the chair from around the table and sits next to her. You want to talk about it?
I don't know.
You know it wasn't her fault, right?
I know. I know it wasn't. But at the same time, would things have happened that way if she hadn't tried that?
Mika, eventually Diablos would have learned, and he would have gone after the crystals anyway.
I know he would have, but after Leviathan's first crystal, we routinely were able to intercept the fiends and save the crystal some way, somehow. No exceptions. Even Bahamut's crystal did what it was supposed to do. It was shattered intentionally by Bahamut himself. We technically won that engagement. If it had happened later, if we had set off later, or earlier, or had more time, would Marasu still be there?
Well, Mika, think about this. The Bonga village that held the light crystal for Ifrit. We didn't make it there in time.
We didn't even know it existed.
And Zaltea had already wormed her way into Ifrit's mind by the time we got there.
But we still won, is the point. If we had had more time to prepare, could we have saved Marasu?
We had plenty of time to prepare for Deviacorp. It still blew up.
That's not the same, and you know it.
Mika, much as I say I love to win, you can't win all the time.
I just wish that hadn't been where we'd lost.
Mika, you know that I know loss more than anybody on the team. Not a day goes by that I don't wish I could have done something to save my parents in that fire. Marasu is gone, yes. But your family is still alive. Your master is still alive. Lots of people lived.
But so many more didn't.
Mika, you can't save everyone.
I know I can't. But looking back, I see all the faces of those we could have if we had just known better or thought it through a little more. Even the scientists from Deviacorp got mauled by abominations lurking out in the woods. We didn't think to warn them that might have been a threat. I know we can't save everyone. I wish we could have saved more, and Marasu is no exception. And the worst part is I can see how we could have.
Mm.
But it's too late to do it now, so...
He kind of does the same what he did with me. Just kind of pulls her in a little bit. Mika. Back in DP Corp, we were still learning. And maybe there was a way we could have prevented the crystal being destroyed. Maybe there wasn't. We can't deal with what could have been. All we could do now is look towards the future and fight with all our power to make sure that Marasu never happens again.
Just one more reason to make that bastard pay. If I couldn't save those people, their deaths can't be for nothing. He's not walking out of this alive. I'll die before I let him.
He won't get out of it. He's hurt too many. But do you remember what you said? That if you ever went down too far, Mika, no one knows revenge like me. Don't let it cloud you.
I'll try not to.
You know, I remember the cute little Mithra white mage, or we thought you were a white mage back then, who just loved books so much and was so impressed when a group of adventurers came and started fixing all her town's problems.
Well, not all the problems.
And we were just starting out.
Bad infrastructure in the sewers, that never goes away.
Yeah.
Piranhas in the waterways.
We're
Littering.
not miracle workers.
I miss it.
Marasu?
What else?
Much as I say I hate Cursatan, I can't help but miss my old house.
My place may be with this group, but my home was always Marasu. I don't think I can ever build it back. It's underwater.
Well, you are the chosen one of Leviathan. Maybe once Diablos is done, we can help Leviathan raise the island up again.
Maybe.
And if Rocket can free Phoenix, perhaps all the damage can be reversed.
We would need ashes.
No.
The ocean doesn't turn bodies to ashes. It just drowns them and buries them. And the fish come and eat them. There aren't any ashes left. they're gone. Even if we can recede the waters and rebuild Marasu, the people can't be saved. The ones who are gone already.
The future generations will be able to live on and learn from all that's happened.
That can only happen if we win.
And we will win. We've gotten this far, haven't we?
Right.
Fought fiends of all the elements. Fought through God's trials. Even talked down to God back in the Hellfire Pit. I say, Rocket can talk to anybody out of a fight if she can go and get the most stubborn of all the gods, huh?
To be fair, I think she had, the Phoenix factor working in her favor. Everett would not have listened to any of the rest of us if we had given that same argument.
And that's why we have a rocket. And you'll be just as important to the fight as anyone.
I hope you're right. I can't help but feel like I've been falling behind lately.
She sort of wipes at her cheeks a little bit.
How far you've gotten.
How was Nee?
She was pretty broken up about it. She feels just horrible about it.
Then that'll have to be repentance enough. I wanted to slap her when she told me.
Why didn't you?
Because she's my fiancé. And even if I felt really mad at her in the moment, I still love her. And I know that she didn't mean for it to happen. That's why I walked away before I could say something we'd both regret. I came here so I could clear my head.
You feel any better?
Not really, but more in control, I think, at least.
You should go talk to her.
I will. Once I've had a chance to calm down a little more. I really don't want to say something wrong and screw everything up.
You two will get through this.
She just gives a shaky little nod.
I know you will. You two are far too strong to let something like this come between you.
Thanks for coming to talk.
He pets her on the head. Hey, I gotta have. I'm not always a jackass. Don't tell anybody I said that.
I don't have to. We know. I'm just gonna stay here for a little while, if that's all right. Get my head together.
Whatever you need. When you're ready, I'd probably go find the highest point in the city. Knowing her.
Yeah, when I'm ready.
He gets up and just looks down at her. You know, you said that Marasa was your home. But my home's with you guys now. I'd say I don't like seeing my sisters upset with each other.
Sisters?
I see y'all as family. It's the only family I've had for a long time.
Yeah. Just you saying your sisters mad at each other, just... If Nee and I are both your sisters, then does that make this incest, or...?
Well, technically when you're married, it'll be the same anyway. So I'm just maybe jumping the gun a little bit on that. I always wanted a nerdy little sister.
Well, I can't say I was ever thrilled at the prospect of having a brutish big brother, but now that I have one, I'm not against it. Glad to have you around.
I grow on you.
It's a hazing process.
Alright. You stay here.
Yeah.
And when you're ready, go to her.
If I don't go to her, I know she'll come to me. We're probably going to be gripping up here anyway.
Probably. And if you do ever need anything...
I know.
You know where to find me.
I know. Thanks.
And with that, he takes his leave.
Drama.
Thanatos, the best fucking wingman in Eno.
He's a huge prick, but if you need a bro, he's got your back.
Has anyone ever shipped this more?
So what?
Has anyone ever shipped the two of them more?
Maybe Rocket, but...
Rocket ships everyone.
Like player, like character.
Hey, he grows on you. He may be an asshole, but he's a lovable asshole.
Yeah. Like I said, there's a hazing process. Want to get through that.
I was able to maintain composure up until the part where Mika started talking about nearly hitting her and all that.
That's what that 1d6 I rolled was. If she had rolled any higher, she would have slapped knee before walking out.
Thanatos, maybe after this battle, we should go into marriage counseling.
Yeah. Oh god. Well, Nia's found somewhere suitably high. Where is she right now?
You would be in the spires, since the city is broken up into like districts based on elevation. The spires is the highest one. It's where the castle is, all the noble houses. You're like at the top of a tower. You kind of just jump up.
close to the sky, kind of reminiscent of, her and Ronnie's chat back when.
All right.
Comfort place.
Yeah. So, with all that, what's everyone else doing at this point?
Well, Darkness is just to be quiet because his mother is going to bed.
Go figure.
I guess Thanatos goes back to Kyra while me and Mika both cool off.
All right. So, Tom, you were about to say something? Ask a question, I think?
I was just gonna ask Darkness even to write in chat what Alistair was doing during all of that.
Yeah.
Whether he stayed with Kyra or what.
Yeah.
You there, Darkness?
He's there, but he's muted.
Is he typing in the...
That's what I was looking for.
I don't see him. I don't see him typing anywhere, so he might be AFK. I don't know.
Oh wait, no, there he is.
Oh.
God damn it!
Hey, you know what? Who would have thought that the most empathetic of the group would be the Dark Knight?
Well, those who suffer the most tend to be the most compassionate. Either that or they become lunatics.
Well, Kai's tried to make you, but then we slapped it out of you.
You did a friendship as magic, which I was not expecting, but it worked so well.
Was what was being invoked in that scene, quite purposefully. Yeah.
I swear, I need to go back and look at that conversation before the Caius fight. I swear I threw a Kingdom Hearts quote in there at some point.
Probably, yeah.
We were just talking about how you would defeat through the power of your friends, and yeah.
My friends are my power.
Yeah.
I think that's what I did, yeah.
And Caius was very like, "What? No, let's teach you a lesson to that," and then we kicked him. Like, oh, maybe, yeah.
Oh, he was more like, "All right, prove it," and then he did, and he was like, "Okay, you proved it. I'm on board."
Yeah, to answer your question, Tom, I'd just say that Alice, I was just making sure that I was all right.
Playing doctor as what's his job before? Because that was technically your job before the campaign started. You were wondering.
Yeah, here's the thing. Murasu was Alistair's first destination after his training completed. He is like, oh, there's this plague going on in Murasu. Okay, I'll go check it out. He popped on a boat, and then the boat got blew up.
Yeah, he pretty much wanders and help as many people as he can.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just there tending Kara's wounds.
Fucking eyes, stop watering.
It's probably one of the most emotional sequences we've had in this damn game.
I think it's the first. I think it's the first real time that Mika and Nia have had a fight. Well, one-sided fight. Nia thinks she deserves it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the first legit pure mad at knee scene.
Yeah.
There's been times where you annoyed her, but
or
this
she's
is the
been
first,
scared for her, or things like this is the first time she's been angry at her. It's the first time you see a crack.
You almost got slapped, mate.
Yeah.
That would have been.
That probably would have been a lot more devastating.
50-50 shot. You dodged it by the skin of your teeth.
Had that happened, Nee wouldn't have spoken to you at all. Would have just left.
Oy vey.
Anyway, so
Big Brother Thanatos is here to make all it better.
Hug, fight, cry, kiss.
Anyway, so
Yes.
how long is Nee up in that tower?
How long does Nee want to be up in that tower?
Well, she's probably going to stay up there unless anything happens in that time until Sun's gone. There's no longer any clouds.
Well, shit. It's a good thing I got a big box of tissues right next to me.
So yeah, okay. So yeah, you spend the
Which
next.
one was more emotional, the one with Nee or the one with Mika?
You played that very well with Mika.
I am an actor. That's what I do.
I was talking to Hades.
Oh.
You-
I mean, yeah, he was great too.
I mean, I started doing never well when Mika found out the truth, and
Hey.
and it
Well-
escalated from there.
That conversation had to happen at some point, and it's like it led on so well from that prior conversation where we reached that subject. Like, oh, it has to happen now.
Well, at least we
that
didn't
off.
do it while we were on our way to the Tower of Creation.
Just rip off the Band-Aid, deal with it while we're here so that we can just have it out of the way so it's not a distraction later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, despite that, didn't make me emotional. These are good tears. I'm happy. I accept these ones.
Anyway, so
Okay.
nothing happens in that time when the
Yeah.
moon's
The day kind of passes around you in this sort of hazy blur as you're just kind of looking out over the lands around, over Lake Melody and the forests to the south and to the east, or west rather, and the open plains in the other direction. Just faintly, barely make out from this distance the tips of the peaks of Mount Duzor and Mount Druz Dakal. It's a while. It's very chilly at this point because it's getting on towards winter again. The wind sort of brushing by at your high altitude kind of helps to sort of settle your nerves a little bit, help you start to calm down as it gets colder and colder.
She stops sparking like an angry Pikachu.
yeah. The temperature drops more and more as the hours drag on, and before long the sun is kissing the distant horizon, casting the world into shades of gold and orange and vibrant reds. You can see the clouds overhead are kind of starting to clear a little bit, and it's getting on to sunset.
Getting on to sunset. So yeah, when it's sun's gone, it's fully night.
Yeah.
She'll probably remain there for like another half an hour after that point. Kind of now calm, just exhausted, almost tempted to doze off there, but it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
Starting to realize that fact. So eventually she'll quietly get up and start making her way back to the tavern.
I assume the others are doing the same or did the same sooner.
Mm-hmm.
As she finally enters in, she's going to try to do it unnoticed.
Okay.
So, like, is everybody already there?
That's up to you guys. Do you go to the inn and tavern before Nee, or do you stay where you were? What are you doing? It's up to you guys where you go.
I imagine at some point, like, the doctors at the hospital are going to kick us out. So I imagine, like, I would just say for purposes, especially what Nee was going to say, I just have Thanatos there, like, and sees her trying to, and maybe, like...
I'm rolling for stealth.
Roll for stealth and roll for awareness.
Yep, go for it.
Unfortunately for you, that's...
Unfortunately for me, your stealth
at least
is...
me plus... That's actually +9 because I leveled up.
Or instead of us getting kicked out of the place,
17.
maybe Thanatos returns and picks us up and informs us what happened.
That
I
could work
use
too.
my active dice. Damn it. Habit.
And now I have to do awareness.
Yep.
What is...
Oh, it's a good thing I didn't use my actual dice because I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Well, I'm probably not going to get it.
Nope.
No, fuck me.
Nee kind of managed to slip in when no one's looking. Quick and quiet about it.
She's kind of making her way through the people that are there.
Yeah. It's definitely livened up at this late hours. People are coming in for dinner, so it's a lot more energetic and loud, and there's a lot more talking, like a sea of faces and whatnot. You can see Fane's mother kind of skillfully, almost like skating or skiing around. It looks like as she's taking orders and whatnot.
She's gonna make her way to the bar and kind of avoiding the others. Get their attention.
All right,
Just kind of use fundaments, arrange rooms for everyone.
Yep.
We do.
All right. It's a Gaul command behind the counter, sort of pale greenish skin, swept back hair. Nods at you. Alright, yep. Rooms can be arranged.
Make sure that... What's Fane's mum's name again?
Let me go ahead and pull this thing up. Solara.
Make sure that... Solara, that's the mum. No. Good.
Oh well.
She's going to start slinking for the stairs if anyone wants to make perception checks.
Yep. Everyone who's trying to keep an eye out for Nee, make awareness checks.
Okay, okay. Get right on it.
Well, Mika.
Mika does...
Of course!
You cannot escape the eyes of the cat.
You cannot escape from Mika. I'm gonna roll for Rocket, too.
The gaze.
Mika beat the stealth elf.
Of course.
Oh shit.
Of course, Mika beats the stealth.
I
elf.
think I might have as well.
Alright, so, the DC was 16, because that's what Tom rolled, so, or 17, rather.
One shot.
So, Mika is the only one who got it.
But of
Yep.
course.
Dead on!
Mika knows.
Dead on.
So, what is Neothil doing? Just slinking upstairs?
Yep.
Alright. So, for the rest of you, you're just kind of waiting around doing whatever. You notice that after a couple minutes, Mika stands up and makes her way up the stairs herself.
Do
I
I
was just
hear
gonna
it?
say, Alice, I partially cast an eye, but didn't say anything. I just looked onward somewhere else.
Mika
Understand
follows you up
emotions.
after a couple minutes. So, like, if you're
Do
going
I
to-
see this, and do I have to roll to see this?
she follows you up a few minutes later. So, like, once you're all the way up the stairs and you've, like, found your room and have been there for a minute or two, that's when she follows you up.
Yep.
So, after a couple minutes of kind of being alone in that room, you hear a gentle little knock on the door.
Who is it?
It's me.
Ah.
Can I come in?
Sure.
Mika slowly steps in, and she looks as exhausted as you feel. She's kind of got the bloodshot eyes thing going on.
Hey,
Hey. Jinx.
Closes the door behind her, and are you, like, sitting on the bed or something?
Yeah, she was attempting to take the breastplate off, but...
Right, yeah. Mika kind of hangs back for a minute.
Look. What I did.
I don't blame you.
What do you mean you don't blame me?
She takes a few steps forward and gives you a hug.
She returns it. You have every right. Every right.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't care. I said yes to marry you for a reason, Nee. I'm upset, yes. But I'm not going to let this ruin what we've got, okay? And neither should you.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. Okay, it's not, but don't blame yourself, okay?
Part of me always figured, I mean, the timing of everything that happened after that. I mean, you must have sensed it too. Just, I guess, ignored it, tried to not think about it until the archbishops. Archbishops, watching ReZero. The Archmagi. They're the ones who pointed it out. Saw the thread after the fight with Soraan there. I wanted to tell you, but you were so angry and I was scared and I kept putting it off and off. But I couldn't let you walk into this without knowing.
It's better I found out like this than by accident. I don't like it. I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm frustrated.
I'd known.
But what does it really change? The how or the why of it? Soraan still destroyed my home. If he got a nudge from you by accident, all that means is that you have to put in your extra effort to take him down to make up for it, and that's that.
I'd known about how they'd react if I'd known about that damned parasite out of his head. All the what ifs, that would be... Suppose my father was so stuck in the what ifs. Didn't even see me when I was in front of him.
Well, let's not get so lost in the what ifs that we don't see each other when we're in front of each other, alright?
I lost you. And what would be the point?
You had a point before me, didn't you? I have confidence you could find one. But I'd rather not make you. So I won't.
You're the only point I want. And she's gonna kiss her.
Yeah, and Mika kisses back. It's a very relaxing thing, very cathartic.
Well,
I seem to have booked one extra room than we needed.
that's alright. You can get us rooms for free somehow with that silver tongue of yours.
Well, the Rangers have way and respect. It helps.
So let it be empty. I think it can go without an occupant for one night.
As you wish, my lady.
Oh, don't start saying that. That just makes me feel old.
Technically, I'm older by 2 lifetimes.
Well, there you go. Don't go freaking calling me that.
She hugs you again.
Returned, of course, always. So, shall we retire?
Yeah. Just straight to sleep, I think. I'm too tired for anything else.
You and me both.
It's been a long fucking day.
Long ones ahead. Depending on when Odin shows up. Maybe we'll have a few days.
Maybe.
Plenty of time to show you how sorry I am. Come on.
Alright. And so Nee and Mika make their way to their bed for the night. Anything the rest of you want to do?
I imagine we're still at the bar, aren't we?
Alright. So if Thanatos and Alistair want to have a discussion, you guys are more than welcome to.
It's like,
Okay.
can you? And I thought you had to be quiet for your mom.
I mean, she's downstairs at the moment, so I've got a bit more time
All right.
to wrap it up again before we wrap it up. Yeah. You know what, Thanatos?
Hmm.
After all the things I never thought I would try on our adventures, I think if I do make it through all this, I might give something else a try.
Oh.
Although I haven't confirmed anything yet, so don't say it to the others for now.
Oh, you know me. I'm good at keeping secrets.
And Anasai checks to see where Rocket is, just to make sure, because he only wants...
She's...
there.
Rocket is, like, right there with you guys. She's just kind of been hanging out with you, but I will say she takes the hint, kind of gives a little nod, and goes walking off to, I don't know, go stare at some plants or something. I don't know what she's going to do.
Those poor... Historically, those poor plants.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
We'll say she just goes and, like, buys herself some greens, like a salad or something, to go chow down on. So
Okie dokie.
So you two are left to your own devices as she goes wandering off.
Okay. After all this, I think I'm going to admit my feelings to a certain someone who's helped me a lot during the days of the Academy City.
Oh shit, is this becoming canon?
Oh.
Is this Athena?
And Thanatos just kind of puts his head on it, puts his chin on his hand, just like, do tell.
Suddenly, I'm at rapt attention.
I thought you had the hots for Vise.
So did he? But then again, a lot of things just going in his head like, probably won't happen, not just through the fact of lifespan, but other things that will heed that, so... But anyways, despite now and then she could be frustrating, but then I can also be dull around her. And we don't always see eye to eye. But then again, she was the first friend I made at the Academy City. And whenever I get into tough situations, she was there to help me out when I'm unable to speak, because me being polite, shy, don't know how to interact with other people sometimes. She
was the moon. She was the moon breeder to your Oriange.
In the way, yes.
Is Alistair going to create an anatomically accurate fucking mammoth of her? Like Oriange did.
As we were saying,
Yes.
And as tough as she is, she does know how to get herself into awkward situations, which I'm always there to help her when she's testing out her blue magic, even though I become the test dummy while healing her. But that one moment back at the Academy City before we left, just seeing the look of worry in her eyes and her... I guess there might be a chance, as unusual as it may sound and unorthodox. It's worth a try for something new, eh?
I don't think it's being as unusual as you think.
I mean, if you could find a relationship buddy, then I guess it's a possibility. No offense or nothing. I mean, we may give you a lot of shit now and then, but you've been there for us, and there is a nice side to you, any for that edge.
He just kind of gives him a gentle twap on the back of the head. Hey, don't get any ideas. I have a reputation to uphold.
Oh, please, you have plenty. Like, I bet you could even still hold the best drinker contest.
And
plus, I'm willing not to destroy my insides to go as far as you, sir. You win, hands down.
And I will take that victory. Now back to Athena. With how much she talks about you, how much she always wants to be around you, how much she always wants to hear about your adventures.
All right.
She worries about you.
I'm late to seeing that. I admit.
I wouldn't be surprised if she had a picture of you in her room.
I wouldn't. I mean, what?
I mean, we do have photos in this setting. I know we do. Rocket has one downloaded into her head.
Oh shit!
Even the way she wants to brother, he's totally too dorky for me. Yeah, that's all right, Sundari.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, Alistair. Just thinks you know so much about each other, and like they say, the mages only test their spells on the ones they love most.
That's a saying.
I'm not aware of that saying, and I come from an entire academy of...
Alistair, make a lore magic check.
Okay, we're doing this now. Right, just make sure the numbers are calculated correctly. Scroll down. Yep. And begin the wall. Let's see what I get.
That's the only lore that he has.
Indeed. We're all ascendant in certain parts.
That's damn near a critical success.
Yeah, so you needed a 4. You know with confidence that is not a saying in magic circles. Generally speaking, if you're testing a new spell, you're encouraged to yeet it at a training dummy. Because training dummies can't file lawsuits.
I mean, if you're Kilgore Athena, you take it with your face. So
you see, therein lies the thing. She's a bully mage.
Which I was going to say. Well, I'll let you know, I don't think such a saying does actually exist, because we're supposed to lunge the magic at the dummy. This actually does to me. Okay.
You see where this is going?
Talk about total whiplash, Jesus.
Again, you got me again, just But despite that all just flew over my head back in the days, I suppose there is a possibility after all. But before any of that could happen, we first need to survive it, won't we?
Yeah.
When the Baka finally realizes that the Sundari likes them.
But now I just have one thought in my head.
And what's that?
If our friendship is as chaotic as it is now, what would it be like when it goes beyond the friendship?
He just puts a hand on his shoulder. Buddy, I'll tell you this. You are in for a rough few years after that marriage.
I'm gonna need to go to the nearest library and look up every single book on love and relationships.
How to Love for Dummies.
How to Love for Dummies.
How to no. Here's the book he needs. How to Survive a Romantic Relationship with a Blue Mage.
Number 1 trick: don't die to the unusual twists of magic. Wonderful advice book. I try.
Rule number 2: do not heed their requests to cast spells on their fetus so that the baby can come out as a little almighty blue mage.
Holy shit! Rocket was on.
Okay, that's horrible.
Hey, Rocket!
That's horrible.
Mass Effect 2, you remember those little Morden talks that you'd have about...
Hold on a second. You're yanking me around right now, aren't you? Would never dream of mockery.
I want to play Mass Effect again.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, she'd certainly have plenty of interesting toys to play with in intimate settings.
Okay. Alright.
Well, without your pulling jabs aside, how about another drink to cheers to our future? It's
Cheers, brother. Just pats him on the back.
Alright. Cling.
And with that,
Alright.
I think we can safely say a few days pass by.
Well, weren't you going to try and reach out to Panara?
I was!
Alright,
Yes!
go ahead. Go ahead
Go
and
and
make a
talk to
finesse
Mummy.
check for me, please.
I completely forgot about that within the whirlwind of emotion.
Because
That's
this session went directions I was not expecting. I was perfectly content with it just being let's just fuck around and relax for a bit. I wasn't expecting epitome of social drama.
I mean, you could say do that the next day if you wanted to, because, you know, it's been a pretty emotional day for the day.
Well,
You don't wanna lose
I
your
mean,
focus.
it's rather important, so I'm going to try a new dice.
All right, then go ahead. Let's hope the focus is still
so-
there.
4 and a 2, so that's 6 plus... What's my fun this? That's about 6, that's 12.
That is just high enough.
Awesome.
Alright, so
It's in the zone.
as you're sleeping for the night, you go through the motions. Emma provides some assistance. And before long, you sort of come into a lucid state and look around, and you're in that familiar orange void. You've pulled yourself into it this time, with the amber star sort of drifting around. And up ahead, you can see Panara sort of looking around, surprised. Eyes narrow as she turns your way. After a moment, they focus.
Glomp.
Just hug.
Yeah, hug.
Knee. She
Sorry,
returns
sorry,
the hug.
it's been a really long day. Really, really long.
Are you all right?
Ask me that when we've won. We've been to the Tower of Creation.
How did that go?
Kind of dreamed up a version of her new crystal.
So that's all of them
counted
then?
for. Yes.
I knew I felt some stirring earlier, but I didn't realize that's what it was.
However, Soraan is currently sort of in control of the tower. Bahamut has been ejected. Before we left, we've dissipated its power using the crystal. So right now it's useless, it doesn't do anything. But over the next few weeks it's going to be reclaiming its darkness, its chaotic energies. And then when that happens, and if Diablos gets full control at that point with Soraan inside... 1 second. That's all he'll need.
Then
And
we
then
need to
the
stop them
world.
before they get a chance.
We've already talked to the King of Voldia. He's preparing the forces he can spare. Well, all of them, because nothing else matters at this point. Sid and the others are on the Little Wing, heading wherever they can. We've sent a message to Anomo. But all of this is going to finish around the Tower of Creation. It's going to be a big fight. Heavyweight.
I'll notify Rania and Skalala.
It would help, especially with the Vatan fleet. That can get people around quickly.
They're fast,
Quick.
but they aren't numerous, from what I've been told. The biggest airship fleet belongs to Linsalem.
Yes, we have no direct lines there, but through Sid, I imagine that'll be an early destination. Particularly with the Magitech, it was designed to counter Amber, and there's going to be a lot of it.
Right.
I mean, we have all the gods on side, and Bahamut has pointed us in the direction of a weapons cache, one that's supposedly meant to be particularly lethal towards those of divine nature. Some sort of contingency they had, I don't know. But we're going for them.
Alright, well. Like I said, I'll notify Rania and Skalala, see if we can't get the fleets here mobilized. It would probably be for the best if the ground forces stayed behind, though.
Bring what you can, because if we lose there...
I know.
And yeah.
She sort of glances off to one side. I can't help but worry about Zalart.
Far from the main conflict, but if Diablos gets control, then it affects them as much as anyone, the whole world.
The entire continent is, as I've mentioned, encrusted with amber all over the place. We may have long ago learned to be... We've long ago become immune to its influence, and it's not nearly as strong there as it is here. I'm not privy to the details of that historical event, but it's still present.
Can you... I hate to suggest it, but in a similar way we contact, can you reach Father?
I never formed such a link with him.
No way to check up on the place?
No.
Then we'll just have to hope that he's doing his job.
I harbor many negative feelings over the place, but it is still where I came from.
I trust in him enough to, if anything is happening there, that Father will handle it. He'll keep the place safe until we're done.
We can only hope. She looks back to you.
Well, you know how stubborn-minded he can be when he wants to do something.
I am well aware. Is there anything else?
Mika and I had a bit of a... I won't call it a fight, just... Bip, maybe.
Is everything alright between you two?
It is now, I think. Drain, everyone's feeling it. Marasu, end of the world.
When I flew over the oceans on Vanille's back, I never thought I'd get mixed up in something like this.
When I started seeing you over my shoulder everywhere I turned. Neither did I.
If fate has a sense of humor, it is convoluted in the extreme.
Wow. All the events that led to this point. Everything that had to happen just as it did. Including my death.
Well, let's make sure you don't die again.
Oh, if I do, Mika will kill me harder. So.
And so will I. I will be very upset with you if you die again before it's your time.
I went through way too much effort just to get you back into my life the first time.
I went through way too much effort to figure out you existed. Just... if the worst should happen. I mean, we have Rocket, we have Phoenix, we have the Ring. But if all those countermeasures, everything was set up, if it's not enough, we win the day, but it comes at cost. Please don't shrivel away from the world. Don't be angry and so bitter that you might do something like what happened before. Please just figure out a way to live. Please?
I'll try. But it won't come to that. I won't let it. And neither will you. Understood?
Yes, Mother.
She sort of ruffles your hair a little bit.
There we go.
Anyway, we have a lot of work to do. You have my sister to rally up so she can knock some heads together, get balls rolling.
Right.
Our creation will let you know if anything happens, like it moves.
Somehow, I get the impression I'll know. I could feel it when you were in there, given the way it was stirring. Just the ambient chaos around me. The power that place holds is unimaginable.
It's literally the center of everything. Last bit of the world as it once was. Caps for clarity, sentimentality, I'm not sure, but they did. Anyway. Why are you...
It is as you are saying that a low, bassy boom sounds somewhere in the distance.
What was that?
Nothing good. Did we feel a
little.
darkness
You felt a
pulse?
little. You felt a little tremor in the air around you. Yeah.
A horrible feeling. That might have been just what I said. The tower freaking moving. I'll contact you later. We need to figure out what just happened.
It's at that moment that a sudden spike of pain shoots into your head. Intense.
Or maybe our dream is being intercepted.
More intense than you had experienced before, to the point it immediately sends you crumpling to your knees. And you can hear Panara in front of you letting out an agonized shriek as she crumples too.
Cut it! Cut it now!
I can't!
Can I try and brute force this, and would any sort of black storm or alternatively sky storm help? Yeah.
You're in a dream space, so...
Still, I'm slightly underpowered, but yeah.
As it is, as you're saying those things, images in your start flickering before your mind with shots of static and weird metallic peeling shrieks like distortions. And you can see the Tower of Creation floating over the chasm where it had been. You can see that the dome of light that had been around it previously has since faded. And as your vision sort of pulls closer to it, it starts to drift. The air around it starting to distort and warble as shadowy mist starts to just pour out of it en masse.
Which direction is it moving?
It's kind of hard to tell through the chaotic vision.
I have a suspicion where it's going to end up, but is it by chance going around northwest?
It is not headed northwest, no.
Well, why I thought it would go. Alright.
Make a nature check to see if you can ascertain the direction it's going, and make that with a -4 penalty because the vision is distorted and flickering and very hard to make out details.
My turn to use extra dice. Gotcha. So my nature is that's a -2 overall. Okay, so dash roll. Let's make it 5d6.
Okay. All right.
Who does that?
All right, so you managed to sort of force your mind through the pain, this feeling of needles being stabbed into your brain, and focus. And the vision momentarily clears, and you can see that the Tower of Creation is drifting to the south and east.
South, east. The Amber Eternal.
And as it's drifting, letting off more and more wisps of shadowy energy, the sky over it is beginning to darken. Not with clouds. The blue is just disappearing. It's as if the sun itself is going dark.
Well, he's been blocked out because the sun's not part of the planet.
Then a moment later, there's another flicker, and you just faintly, off in the distance, echoey, muffled, but somehow sickeningly clear, reverberating around in your head. Well, time for the last few plays. Make it count. And with that, you wake up. Thanatos, you wake up as well with the same sort of piercing sensation in your head. Everyone is waking up from this.
Ow.
Yeah.
Oh no. At least she knows. Mika?
Mika immediately rushes over to the window and throws it open.
The Amber Eternal. It's going to the Amber Eternal.
As you say that, coming up to her side and look outside, you can see that the sky is continually going dark. It's like just the heavens are just fading.
That's in its wake, isn't it, wherever it's traveling?
It seems to be spreading outward, further and further. It's not just like in one localized area. It's like it's expanding, this sphere of influence where the light just dies.
I think it I've been running quicker than I would like.
Muhammad did say we only had a few hours before he could move it and it could start affecting things. It's not all at once, it's gradual.
It's blocking out the sun, changing the sky.
And as the darkness encompasses more and more, you start to see, as if it were the night sky, stars start to flicker into view. But instead of the whites and blues you're used to in the night sky, all of them are the color of demon amber. And that's where we'll pick up next time.
These aren't stars.
About fighting in the shade, but this is too much.
So,
Blood of darkness has begun.
yeah,
Give us our weapons now.
So I am on the calendar going to reveal an event I had hidden.
Is it like a time limit? And is the calendar working now?
Yes.
I'm guessing we have a time limit.
Well, I guess it's like Skyrim, the World Eater's gonna take the world.
It ends on the adventure anniversary, you prick!
Wait, what?
Wow.
On the calendar. The
On
time
the
limit
exact
before.
day we washed up on Morasu's beach, the world will end.
Yep.
Wow. The day
So,
we begun is the day that ends. if you don't
Indeed.
do something about it.
so, yeah, I've been looking forward to that. I told you that the Tower of Creation was going to be akin to the world of Ruin from 6. Everything just went to hell.
And
So,
then, I mean, the demons are gonna start going mental.
so,
Or at least anywhere underneath the shade of the sky as it spreads out.
So, this is a global event. So,
Wow.
thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Oh boy. Shit's getting bad. We'll see you next time.
To be there when we wake up, because we're fucking going.
Keep listening,
now.
people. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Wish us luck. We're gonna need it.
Yeah, you are. You are absolutely going to need it.